Warren Buffett, the most successful investor in modern history, was once asked what ordinary people should do with their money. Not hedge funds, not stock picking, not crypto. He said, put it in a low-cost index fund and leave it alone. And here's the remarkable thing. Study after study shows that index funds outperform the majority of professional fund managers over the long term. People who are paid millions of pounds to pick stocks, beaten consistently by a simple fund that just tracks the market. If you've ever thought investing was complicated, risky, or only for people who understand finance, this video is going to change your mind completely. I'm going to show you exactly what index funds are, why they work, how to start with as little as £25 a month, and the specific platforms UK investors use to buy them. Stay until session 5, because I'll show you the one mistake that costs beginner investors thousands of pounds in unnecessary fees. Let's go. Welcome back, or if you're new here, great to have you. This channel covers practical, honest money advice for people in the UK, and today's topic is one I genuinely wish someone had explained to me earlier. Index funds. They're not exciting, they're not glamorous, you won't see them trending on social media, but they are, without question, the most consistent, evidence-backed way for ordinary people to grow their wealth over time. This video is structured as a complete beginner's guide. No jargon, no assumed knowledge. We start from zero. By the end, you'll know exactly what index funds are, why they work, what to watch out for, and how to actually get started in the UK today. Timestamps are in the description, but I'd really encourage you to watch this one fully. It all connects together. Let's start with the basics. Let's start from scratch. What actually is an index fund? An index is simply a list of companies, grouped together in a standardized way. You've probably heard of some of them. The FTSE 100, the 100 largest companies listed on the London Stock Exchange. Think BP, HSBC, Unilever, Rolls-Royce, AstraZeneca. The S&P 500, the 500 largest companies in the United States. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla. The MSCI World, over 1,500 companies across 23 developed countries worldwide. An index fund is simply an investment fund that tracks one of these indexes. It buys a small slice of every company in the index, in the same proportion that each company represents. So when you invest in a FTSE 100 index fund, you instantly own a tiny piece of all 100 of those companies. When they grow, your investment grows. When the index rises 8% over a year, your fund rises approximately 8%. That's it. There's no fund manager sitting in an office trying to be clever, no team of analysts, no complicated strategy. The fund just mirrors the index, automatically. This simplicity is not a weakness, it is the entire point, and it's why costs are so low and returns are so consistent. We'll get to that in session 3. To really understand why index funds work so well, you need to understand what they're competing against, and that's actively managed funds. An active fund has a professional fund manager, sometimes an entire team, whose job is to analyze the market, pick the best stocks, buy and sell at the right times, and beat the market average. Sounds great in theory. In practice, the data is devastating. According to Spiva, the industry's own scorecard, over a 10-year period, roughly 85 to 90% of actively managed funds underperform their benchmark index. Read that again, 85 to 90%. Most professional fund managers, with all their data, all their research, all their years of experience, cannot consistently beat a simple fund that just tracks the market. And here's the cruel part. The active fund charges you significantly more for the privilege of underperforming. A typical active fund might charge 1 to 1.5% per year in fees. An index fund might charge 0.5% to 0.25%. That difference sounds small. Over 30 years, on a 10,000 investment growing at 7% annually, a 1% fee difference costs you approximately £13,000 in lost returns. On 50,000, it's closer to £65,000. Fees quietly eat your returns. Index funds win on both counts. Better performance and lower cost. This is not opinion, it's documented, consistent, long-term data. This might be the most important concept in all of personal finance, not just for index funds, for any long-term investment. It's called compound growth, and once you truly understand it, you'll never want to wait another day to start investing. Here's the basic idea. When your investment earns a return, that return gets added to your pot. Next year, you earn a return on the bigger pot, including last year's gains. Then those gains earn gains, and those gains earn gains. It snowballs, slowly at first, then dramatically. Let me show you with real numbers. Imagine you invest £200 per month into a global index fund from age 25, earning an average annual return of 7%, which is a historically reasonable estimate for a diversified global index fund over the long term. By age 35, 10 years in, your pot is approximately £34,000. You've contributed £24,000. The growth has added £10,000. By age 45, 20 years in, approximately £104,000. You've put in £48,000. Growth over £56,000. By age 55, 30 years in, approximately $243,000. Total contributions, $72,000. Growth, $171,000. By age 65, 40 years, approximately $528,000. You contributed £96,000. Compound growth added over £432,000. That is not a typo. £200 a month. 40 years, £500,000. The mathematics doesn't lie. And the earlier you start, the more dramatically this works in your favor. Every year you delay costs you, not just in contributions, but in compound time. Right, let's get practical. Which index funds should you actually look at as a UK investor? I want to be clear, I'm not giving you financial advice here, and this isn't a recommendation to buy any specific fund, but I can show you the types of funds that are widely discussed in the UK personal finance community and what makes them different. Global index funds, the most popular starting point. These track a broad global index, like the MSCI World or FTSE All World, giving you exposure to thousands of companies across dozens of countries in one fund. Examples widely discussed in the UK: Vanguard FTSE Global All Cap Index Fund, tracks companies of all sizes globally. Vanguard Life Strategy Funds, pre-mixed portfolios with different stock-bond splits. iShares Core MSCI World ETF, tracks large and mid-cap companies in developed markets. UK-focused index funds. Vanguard FTSE UK All-Share Index Fund, tracks the broad UK stock market. iShares Core FTSE 100 ETF, specifically the UK's top 100 companies, S&P 500 funds. Many UK investors also hold US-focused index funds tracking the S&P 500, given the dominance of US companies in global growth over recent decades. Two key things to always check before investing in any fund. One, the ongoing charge figure, or OCF. This is the annual fee. For index funds, look for OCFs under 0.25%. Below 0.15% is excellent. Above 0.5%, start asking why. Number two, fund size and provider reputation. Larger established funds from reputable providers, Vanguard, BlackRock, iShares, Fidelity, are generally more stable and liquid. Stick to well-established names when you're starting out. This is the session I told you about in the hook, and it's arguably the most practically valuable thing in this entire video. When UK investors, especially beginners, start looking at investment platforms, they often focus entirely on which fund to buy. They spend hours researching. Then they sign up to the first platform that comes up in a Google search, and they don't notice they're paying a platform fee of 0.45% per year, plus a fund fee of 0.75%, plus a transaction fee every time they invest. Total annual cost, over 1%. On a small pot of £5,000, that's £50 a year. Barely noticeable. On 100,000s, that's £1,000 a year. Every year. Gone. Over decades, it genuinely costs you tens of thousands of pounds. So let's talk about the main platforms UK investors use and their approximate costs. Vanguard Investor UK platform fee, 0.15% per year, capped at £375. Only offers Vanguard funds, but for most beginners, that's more than enough. Widely considered the lowest cost option for straightforward index fund investing. Invest Engine platform fee, 0% for DIY portfolios. Offers a wide range of ETFs. Genuinely zero platform fee. They make money other ways. Very popular for cost-conscious UK investors. Fidelity platform fee, 0.35% up to £250,000, capped after that. Wide fund range. Strong reputation. Good for those who want more choice. Hargreaves Lansdowne platform fee, 0.45% for funds, capped at £45 per year for ETFs. Most popular platform in the UK by users. Excellent interface. Slightly higher fees. The rule, total costs, Platform fee plus fund fee should ideally be under 0.5% per year. Under 0.3% is excellent. That's entirely achievable with index funds in the UK. Always check the full cost breakdown before you open an account. It is the single most impactful decision you'll make as an investor, after starting at all. Once you've chosen your fund and your platform, there's one more crucial decision: where to hold your investment. In the UK, you have two main options. Option 1, Stocks and Shares ISA. An ISA, individual savings account, is a tax wrapper. Inside an ISA, any growth, dividends, or returns you make are completely free from income tax and capital gains tax, forever. You never pay tax on those returns, no matter how large they grow. You can invest up to £20,000 per year into your ISA allowance. Any unused allowance doesn't roll over. Use it or lose it each tax year. For most UK investors, especially beginners, a Stocks and Shares ISA is the single best place to hold index funds. It's simple, tax efficient, and the £20,000 annual allowance is more than enough for the vast majority of people. Option 2, General Investment Account, GIA. A GIA has no contribution limits. You can invest as much as you like, but returns are potentially subject to capital gains tax and income tax. You get a £3,000 annual capital gains tax allowance before tax kicks in. For most beginners, start with the ISA. Maximize your ISA allowance first every year. Only move to a GIA once your ISA is full. One more option worth mentioning, the Lifetime ISA, LISA. If you're between 18 and 39, saving for your first home or retirement, the LISA gives you a 25% government bonus on contributions up to £4,000 per year. That's up to £1,000 of free money annually. But there are restrictions. You can only use it for a first home purchase or retirement from age 60. Withdrawal for any other reason triggers a penalty. Worth knowing about, not always right for everyone. Right, let's make this actionable, because knowledge without action is just entertainment. Here is exactly how to start investing in index funds in the UK, step by step. Step 1, decide how much you can invest. Be honest and realistic. You don't need thousands. Most platforms let you start with £25 or £50 per month. Even £25 a month consistently over decades builds meaningful wealth. Start where you are. Increase as you can. Step 2. Choose your platform based on what we covered in Session 5. For most complete beginners in the UK, Vanguard Investor or Invest Engine are the most straightforward and cost-effective starting points. Sign up takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Step 3. Open a Stocks and Shares ISA. Within your chosen platform, open a Stocks and Shares ISA, not a general account. The ISA wrapper protects all your growth from tax. Step 4. Choose a global index fund. For most beginners, a single global index fund is all you need. Something that tracks the FTSE All World, MSCI World, or similar global index. You don't need 10 different funds. One well-diversified global fund gives you exposure to thousands of companies worldwide. Step 5. Set up a regular direct debit. Automation is the secret weapon of successful investors. Set up a monthly direct debit, on payday if possible, so the money goes in before you have a chance to spend it. This is called pound cost averaging, investing regularly regardless of market conditions, and it removes emotion from the equation entirely. Step 6. Leave it alone. This is genuinely the hardest step. Markets go up, markets go down, sometimes dramatically. The instinct when markets fall is to panic and sell. That is almost always the wrong move. Index fund investing rewards patience above everything else. Check your portfolio occasionally. Don't obsess over it daily. The long-term direction of a diversified global index fund has historically been upward. Stay the course. Let's bring it all together. An index fund tracks a market index, like the FTSE 100 or S&P 500, giving you instant diversification across hundreds or thousands of companies. Index funds consistently outperform the majority of actively managed funds over time, at a fraction of the cost. Compound growth is your greatest asset. The earlier you start, the more powerful it becomes. Look for global index funds with OCFs below 0.25% from reputable providers like Vanguard, iShares, or Fidelity. Watch your total fees, platform plus fund. Keep them under 0.5% per year. Hold your index funds inside a Stocks and Shares ISA to protect your returns from tax. Start small, automate, and stay consistent. Time in the market beats timing the market. You do not need to be wealthy to invest. You do not need to understand financial markets. You need discipline, consistency, and time. Index funds do the rest. That is your complete beginner's guide to index fund investing in the UK. If this video opened up the topic for you, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need straightforward financial guidance. Subscribe if you haven't already. We cover topics exactly like this every week. And leave a comment below. Are you already investing in index funds? Or is this something you're thinking about starting? I'd love to know where you are on your journey. I read and reply to every comment. All the platforms and resources mentioned today are linked in the description below. And as always, please remember, this video is general educational content only. Investing involves risk. The value of investments can go down as well as up. For personalized advice, please speak to a regulated financial advisor. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.